What if I told you that your motivation isn't just about willpower, discipline, or being lazy? What if the real reason you can seem to stay focused or driven is happening inside your brain right now, silently controlling your actions? Imagine waking up full of energy, excited to tackle your goals, only to feel that spark fade within minutes. You scroll, procrastinate, and wonder, why can't I just get started? Today, on Brain Boost Daily, we're going to dive into the hidden chemistry of your brain, uncovering the secret behind motivation, and by the end, you'll understand how to harness it instead of letting it control you. Before we go deeper, if you want more brain hacks that actually change your life, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe right now, so you don't miss any future videos that can boost your focus, energy, and motivation. Let's start with dopamine. Most people think dopamine is simply the pleasure chemical, but that's only part of the story. Dopamine isn't about pleasure itself. It's about anticipation, desire, and motivation. It's the chemical that pushes you to take action, to chase what you want. When you think about a reward, whether it's a tasty treat, finishing a project, or reaching a goal, dopamine spikes. But here's the twist. It spikes before you get the reward, not after. That's why the chase feels exciting, and the reward itself sometimes feels less thrilling than expected. Deep in your brain is a tiny but powerful area called the ventral tegmental area. It sends dopamine to another key region called the nucleus accumbens. Together, these areas form a core part of your brain's reward system. When this circuit activates, you feel energized, driven, and ready to act. It's so you can get excited about a new idea or goal and feel compelled to move forward. Dopamine responds not just to rewards, but to predictions. Your brain constantly asks, is this better than I expected, or worse? If it's better, dopamine spikes. If it's worse, dopamine drops. This is why surprises feel amazing. Why unplanned treats or unexpected messages can grab your attention. And why your brain loves novelty. Social media, for example, exploits this. Every time you refresh your feed, the brain doesn't know what it will see. Maybe something funny, maybe something interesting. That unpredictability creates strong dopamine spikes, similar to how slot machines work in Las Vegas casinos. Here's why this matters for motivation. Long-term goals like fitness, learning a skill, or building a business often have slow, predictable rewards. Your brain doesn't get constant dopamine hits, which makes these tasks feel harder. Meanwhile, quick, unpredictable rewards from your phone, snacks, or streaming create high dopamine spikes that your brain craves. Over time, if you constantly chase these fast rewards, your baseline dopamine drops. Everyday life can start to feel boring. Exercise, reading, or focused work may feel like a chore. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain has adapted. Think of dopamine like a volume knob for motivation. Blast it too high with constant stimulation, and normal activities feel flat. But the good news is, you can reset it. One effective way is to reduce artificial dopamine spikes. Limit endless scrolling, delay instant gratification, and introduce small challenges like cold showers, focused work sprints, or workouts. Completing these tasks triggers dopamine in a sustainable, healthy way. Dopamine is also deeply tied to progress. Not just achievements, but seeing improvement. That's why breaking big goals into small steps works so well. Each small win gives a dopamine boost, keeping you motivated to continue. Learning a new skill follows the same pattern. First, progress feels slow, but every little improvement sparks dopamine, reinforcing the effort and making you want to keep going. A common misconception is that more dopamine equals more happiness. That's not true. Extreme dopamine spikes create craving, not satisfaction. Constantly chasing excitement can actually leave you feeling restless or empty. The key is balance. Real, sustainable motivation comes when dopamine works with other brain chemicals that promote calm, focus, and fulfillment. To build long-term motivation, clarity is essential. Specific goals trigger stronger dopamine responses. Get fit is vague. Walk 20 minutes every morning is precise. Use anticipation to your advantage, knowing a reward awaits after a task increases dopamine as you work. Protect your mornings. Dopamine naturally peaks earlier in the day, so don't waste it on low-view activities like endless scrolling. Celebrate small wins daily. Don't wait for perfection. Acknowledging progress trains your brain to associate effort with reward. Another important point is that motivation comes after action, not before it. Take even tiny steps, and dopamine starts rising, pushing you forward. Waiting to feel motivated often leads to procrastination. At Brain Boost Daily, we emphasize designing your environment to support healthy dopamine loops. Place cues for productive habits where your brain naturally sees them. Remove distractions. Environment often outweighs willpower. Stress also impacts dopamine. Chronic stress reduces motivation and makes rewards feel less exciting. That's why sleep, exercise, sunlight, and social connections are essential for maintaining a healthy dopamine system. You're not broken if you feel unmotivated. Your brain just needs the right inputs. Start small. A 10-minute walk, 5 pages of reading, or turning off notifications for an hour can begin to reset your motivation system. Here's a quick exercise. In the comments, write one goal you've been procrastinating on. Publicly stating it makes your brain take it seriously, giving your motivation a small but meaningful boost. Share this video with someone who struggles to stay motivated. They might finally understand why and how to regain control. And remember to subscribe to Brain Boost Daily for simple, science-backed strategies that help you harness your brain instead of being controlled by it. Motivation is chemistry, and chemistry can be shaped. Once you understand dopamine, you stop blaming yourself and start taking smart actions that create real, lasting change.